Hi guys, and welcome to today's task. Today's task, we're going to be updating this outlet to a brand new outlet with USB chargers built in. I'm going to show you how simple it is to do this task. We are going to use one tool, a multi-tool screwdriver, and that's all we'll need. First things first, we're going to shut the breaker off. And you can tell the breaker turns off on this room because the light turns off and they are all connected. And just for safety purposes, we're going to verify power is off with our tick tracer. We're good. First step is to remove the outlet cover. Second step, don't gag from all the dirt and grime behind it. Third step, remove the old outlet. And we want to pull these screws all of the way out because we're not going to use any of them. Now you want to pull your outlet out and look at how they're connected. Some outlets have screws on the side, this one just has plugs. This is where your multi-tool comes in handy. You go to your small flat end and you insert it in to these little grooves and it will release these wires. So again, push in and it will release, push in and it will release. Now we have all four wires exposed. Here is our new outlet with our USB chargers built in. These are 3.6 amp USB chargers, which is a higher amperage, which means they will charge your device a little bit faster. So I did look for that in my purchase, and it's usually written on the box. Secondly, this is a normal outlet. They do make these in shallow versions where it will be one USB and one outlet if you don't have that much depth in your wall. But since we have the full depth, I went with the two, and we're gonna put this one in. In the back of this box, you can see the ground wires are tied together and tied to the junction box itself. We need to put a ground wire on our outlet, so we are gonna tie to that same screw with a ground wire and to the outlet itself. So I have a small piece of ground wire, and I have put a small hook in it so that I can hook it underneath that screw and screw it in tight. On an outlet, you will see silver screws, which typically mean the whites or the neutrals, and on the black screws, that typically means hot. You also can see the hot screws as being a brass color as well. And on the top, we have the green for our ground. So we will switch our multi-tool to the large Phillips head, because that's what all of these screws work the best at, and we'll start attaching them. I like to attach the ground first. And make sure those are good or tight. We'll do our neutrals next. And make sure they get in all of the way. And our hots last. Now with everything attached, it's time to put our outlet back in. And this is the part where it gets tricky, is you have to flex all of that wire. So I like to bend it down as far as I can first, and then bend the top up, and then push it back in. And you're gonna have to use some force. Don't be scared, the wires are dead. And you can start your screws. And whenever it comes to outlets, my preference is the ground facing down. I don't know if that's code or anything like that, but for some reason I like to look at it and see eyes and a mouth. here's where you want to take an extra second and straighten out your outlet before you screw it down all the way, or else it will be noticeable when you put your outlet cover on. And with our outlet in place, we are ready to put our cover on. I prefer buying the unbreakable kind. These kind can actually flex. They won't break or pop as easy. Some of the old ones were real stiff plastic, and if they even flexed a little bit, they would snap and break, and then you'd have a ruined or ugly looking outlet. You'd have to replace it. These aren't much more money, but they will last a lot better. I prefer using the small flathead so that my blade doesn't scratch any of my cover as well. It sits right in my screw. And I don't like to cinch this one down until I get both of them already started. And to me, a sign that an outlet is put together properly means the screws are facing up and down. Tighten this one down. We're gonna turn our breaker back on. Listen for any popping noises. Now with our power back on, we're gonna test to see if it works. And we have power and we are charging these batteries. That's pretty cool. Now we've updated this so it looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and it's more functional for today's modern day. You guys, I know there's a lot of people painting walls and making rooms look fresh and new, and sometimes the outlets and the outlet covers don't get taken care of because it seems like it's a daunting task. You know how to do it now, go out and do it. And while you're at it, update to these USB ones so that you have a more functional outlet for today's modern world. I will make a note though that these outlets are a little more pricey compared to a regular outlet, but they're more versatile, they work a little bit better, and you will use it probably a lot more than a regular outlet in today's day. I will leave a link for this outlet and for the multi-tool screwdriver that I used in today's video, and we'll see you guys next time. One more announcement, the Today's Task hats are back in stock. If you want one, they are $35, which does include shipping to your doorstep. Just email my Today's Task and ask for one, and I'll give you all the rest of the details to purchase one. Thanks, guys. For today's task, we're gonna be updating this. I'm gonna show you how simple it is. I'm gonna show you how simple it is to do this task, and we're only gonna use. First things first, we're gonna shut the breaker off. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, here is our, and this before installing, you guys, I wanna announce that our Today's Task hat, stupid garbage truck. Could your brakes squeak any louder? You guys are Today's Task.